Little Slim Haitian thing. What's up, ladies and germs? We're back at it, man. And today's topic, man, we're going to talk about the Sosua. Listen, you might ask yourself, what's the real difference between a place like Santo Domingo, Santiago, and Sosua? And more specifically, what does it mean for the women, right? Of course, you know, guys go to Sosua for the women, and women go to Sosua for the transactions. So what is the difference? Well, I'm gonna cover that with you guys. But before I do, RichesMethod back at it again. Don't forget, subscribe, click the bell notification, hit notify all. Make sure you drop your comments. Make sure you hit that like button right now before we get started. Absolutely go ahead and share the videos on your Facebook and your Instagram. For my travelers, I highly recommend that you get the ebook and audiobooks on travel, safety, and dating. And for those who want to live abroad, get the cheat sheet to financial freedom and the good life, how to live or slow travel abroad. Available for instant download at payhip.com/RichesMethod. All the links are also in the description below. So let's go. All right, so let's get started. So listen, the backdrop is Santo Domingo, not Sosua, and the reason is exactly the title. She goes to Sosua to reinvent herself, to increase her worth, and her worth goes up about like 5 times. So if you guys who have been to Sosua think about what I'm saying here to you, and you run across one out there and it's one of the baddies, you know what I mean? And then she says, because you know, Sosua is totally transactional. For you newbies who've never went there, for you guys who think you know what it's about, I hope you realize at the end of the day that it's transactional. Tiny little city. It's about fun. It's about the beach. It's about the bars. It's about hanging with your homies over there. It's about connections. Whether you're European, whether you're Canadian, whether you're American, right? And no matter what your race is, you tend to see a lot of that, and then you see the fun sides. You got the casinos and all that. You got the beaches. By the way, that was for the newbies, fellas, so calm down. All right, so for us seasoned fellas who have been going in, yo, here's the crazy thing. I got dudes message me, yeah, this is going to be my 7th time. And then I've got dudes like, yeah, man, love it. This is being my 17th time. And the funny thing is, they know nothing else but no other place in the island, right? It's like, oh yeah, I've only been to Sosua, so I've been to DR. All right, fellas, so this is for you too, who's seasoned, but you've only been maybe even in Santo Domingo, Zona Colonial, or Sosua. Or you've been to Boca Chica, you've never been anywhere else. Or Punta Cana, for you guys who love it out there with the family lifestyle. All right, so listen. Let me explain now the difference, even if you're in one of the biggest cities like Santo Domingo, but you're not in the tourist zone, right? Okay, so why does the girls increase their worth when they go to Sosua and reinvent themselves? It's just simple. Just like when you fly in, you could tell a girl wherever the hell you want, hey, I'm a millionaire in America. Hey, you know, my job gives me $250,000 a year. Oh man, I'm a player. Oh, I'm single. You know, you might be married. I mean, whatever it is, you can reinvent yourself when you touch down, right? Well, fellas, a lot of the women, they reinvent themselves when they go to Sosua because they got to sell you the dream. And it's not just the dream of who they are. It's also the dream of how they look, how wanted they are, what they can do for your life, what they can do specifically for you. Listen, here's what you guys don't know. Most of the girls who go up there, we know that they're looking for opportunity. That part is already clear. But what you don't realize many times is why they're looking for that opportunity. Hey man, I'm talking about social class invention, right? What I mean by this, let's take one of the things that generally if a girl realizes you're a newbie to Sosua, she'll say pretty much every single time, oh, I don't usually do this all the time. It's my first time. And all of a sudden, the newbies who got the captain syndrome, they're like, "Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba." They don the cape because, hey, I could save her before, she gets into this. Listen, man, before she came to that particular little tiny town, she's already been the run through in the rest of the town or the city where she's from. That's why she's there. You know what I mean? She already think it's okay. It's not her first time. It might be her first time there, but I guarantee you, a lot of dudes have flew in the past and they've knocked it down, right? Like the bowling pin, boom, with the bowling ball, boing. Or the local dudes, man. The local dudes, everybody know. Listen, any of you guys, because we all been there. We all know a girl from high school, or we all know a girl from our area who was the town, right? So, listen, many times that's who that girl is, but now she can reinvent herself, right? She's in school, she's studying medicine, she's only doing this for the first time, university is expensive, her mama need help, somebody's sick, somebody's in the hospital, the baby need milk, you understand me? Here's not a special one to tell you newbies, she actually don't really like what she's doing. Many times she actually sells products on the side. You know what I mean? She want to start a store. She actually want to leave that life behind. So if you just gave her enough, she would be able to sell these clothes that she sells. Except, like pretty much everybody in DR sells ropa or shoes, zapatos, you know what I mean? Or a little handband or chains or earrings or whatever. But you're special. You're the one that she feels the most for. And by the way, you're different. She's felt things before, but never like how she feels for you. You're the special one. She ain't even got nobody abroad that sends her money. Oh, wait, she used to, but then the dude, something happened, he was selfish, he wouldn't give her money to help her get out the life. Yeah, fellas, guess what? If you heard that, you ain't the only one. How you think I know it? Matter of fact, dudes, if I forgot any, drop them down in the comments. This is going to be fun. Let's tell the newbies all the different things we've heard. Listen, the truth is most of these girls in their small town or their big city, they're the yambriagas. Yeah, they're the female players. You know what I'm saying? Yambriago in Dominican culture is the dude that hits everything, talks to everything. He the player. And not in a good way either. Even the women are like, God damn, you can't see a that he don't jump into. Well, she the female version of that, right? The other half is just a chapeadora. She's the more Americanized version. The attitude is there, and she just want to take you for your money. Everything is about the shine, the bling, and the blang. Now, she ain't really got that Dominican traditional culture. She more in it for the Americanized type of the culture, the bling, the blang, blang. There for the bottles to pop and all that. She there for the cap. She reinvented herself, right? The other thing is now she could be one of the baddest out there. You know what I mean? Where in her little town, she's one of 1,000. She's one of 1,000,000. You get what I'm trying to say. And with her attitude, maybe her class, her family, she's not the most desired necessarily for anything long term. Listen, I asked the Dominican woman specifically this question. What do other Dominicans think about the girls who do this? And usually what's the status of these girls? And you know what answer I got? Here's what I got. It's typically that these girls are single. A few guys use them who are Dominican for, whatever they might need, read through the lines. And they don't take them too seriously. The other types who seem to have the boyfriends, it's usually like a Papa Chulo. You know what I mean? You kind of in the same situation. They both benefit. And they kind of, find comfort in each other's culture and each other's company because they understand each other's situation, right? And him or her kind of team up together. He also don't really take her serious. He might got a little something on the side or two more on the side. And he might be, a taxi driver, a moto control guy, a guy who just got a small job at a Colmado, a delivery dude, the dude from around the hood who knew her growing up since he's young and she's young, whatever it might be. They got something in common, right? A shared experience. Other than that, she's single. Sometimes they suspect what the girl does. Sometimes they like, we kind of know what she does because obviously she ain't doing nothing, actually solid, right? Everybody seems to know everybody. This is an island. If you live in a small area, your family from that area, and your family's from that area. So there's like, what they call it, third degree of separation or something like that. Yeah, man. And just like you guys, you're reinventing yourself. You live in the paradise. They're living the paradise. Because let's face it, the typical American, you guys either. It's not your daily life. I used to live in Miami, on the border of Miami and Fort Lauderdale area. Should I say Broward County? So, and I used to live smack dab in Hollywood on pretty much, what was it called? US 1. So I know what it's like to look at the beach. Even when I was living in Deerfield Beach, same thing. I know what it's like to look out and be like, okay, the ocean is right there, and this is the lifestyle every day, and there the yachts parked up right there, right? It wasn't my lifestyle, but it was right there. I got to see it. I know what it's like. And the typical American is not living that life daily, right? And even the multi-millionaires who have the homes on the right there in Miami, the intercoastal, there it is. Even the millionaires who got the yachts on the intercoastal, like the girl I used to date for years, one of her family members was a multi-million-dollar lawyer, and they had all this crap, right? Most of the time, he never enjoyed any of it. He's gone, he's working, and that's a typical lifestyle that most Americans don't even live and get to enjoy. So these girls and you guys are doing the same thing, reinventing yourself, living the fantasy. This is why Sosua is the single man's paradise. Listen, these girls get to be from wherever they are, have a bunch of kids, not really respected by even the people within their little community, and they get to come out there, wear a wig, wear the baddest dresses that they ever, go buy real quickly, and reinvent themselves. They could tell you whatever you want to hear. They can be whoever they want to be. If they want to say that they're not married, hey, they're not married. If they want to say they're single without kids, hey, they're single without kids, unless, they got a little scar showing that they had a couple. Yeah, so you can be whoever you want to be. And what you guys don't think about is they can be whatever they want to be. And they can increase their worth, just like you can. Listen, where these girls are coming from locally, the same transactional attitude and agendas that you travel with, they travel with it up there too, from all over the island. And guess what? They're able to increase their worth, right? Versus their local barrio by 4 times more. Now, fellas, you've been asking this question. I monetize. Do not put it down below. If you can read through the lines and divide by 4 based on what they're normally asking for out there at the top, now you know. All right? I've helped you guys a lot on this one. Listen, payhip.com/RichesMethod for the ebooks. Drop that like, hit the subscribe. A lot of you guys are watching but not subscribing. And share this with somebody else. Check you guys on the next one.